Shamans, we understand, cause we are the tech shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Cool.
Bring me down to there.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tech Shamans. It's Monday.
A very special Monday.
Why is it special?
Because it's Apple Week.
Yeah, you know, so we're going through everything, trying to find out what we're going to talk about today. And it was kind of tough because everything is Apple.
Exactly.
So I have got some good Apple news, and I have got some not so good Apple news.
I think they call that bad apple.
It's a bad
one
apple.
bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl.
I hope not. But, yeah, it's and then we have a very sad story.
Yeah.
So, but, you know.
It is a story.
It is a story.
It'll
and
be
it's
interesting to see where it goes.
And I'm not jumping any bandwagons here, but I'm just going to talk about it because it was. I read the article, and I mean, it took me 20 minutes to read it.
Yeah, I was
not more.
I didn't actually get it
Of
finished.
course, my
It
Hooked
was
on
so
Phonics
long,
haven't
yeah.
showed up yet, so it's hard. If it doesn't come in video, I don't really watch it.
Yeah, it really needs an audiobook.
I know,
It's
but
that
anyway.
long.
Hey, you know
We'll get
what?
there.
Where is the CDC or the ADA compliance where I can push a button where I can listen to it? The hell's up with that?
But you're not blind.
Doesn't matter.
It knows.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Any computer should play ADA, period.
Of course it should. Which, interestingly, I saw a friend of mine actually getting on Square. Okay, complaining about it because they have really bad vision and they can't see the the fine print when they go to check out on something, and they want to pay in cash because they're used to doing that, and a lot of places aren't taking cash now, and so they're going, we're being
First of all,
being discriminated against.
If you can read the fine print with good eyes, you're lucky.
Yeah, you're lucky there. But but that's a serious thought. Except one of the first comments that came up underneath was, Square has visually impaired function. You just ask for it, and it'll read the whole invoice to you right off the screen. Like, Square is so far ahead of this stuff. It's like, maybe you should check a little bit. But, just a thought.
Just
a lot of people are doing their best, and it really is about best efforts, and that's what we talked about with the ADA last week.
Yeah, go back and watch that show. If
Yeah.
you go back and watch that show, you'll get it. It's
Yeah.
There's some that are not. There's some that are for entertainment purposes only, and they really don't have to follow that rule. They don't follow in that rule. So
Yeah.
But anyway, so the first thing we're going to talk about today, I look like I'm a midget. Look at my shot. It's really weird, isn't it?
You should zoom in on you a little bit more.
No, I don't. You can't. You don't scare the people at home. Come on now.
Well, how many of these people are at home?
True. A lot of these people are watching on their
we don't mind
phones
scaring people at
while
work.
driving.
Yeah,
and
and
you're
hopefully
not
they're
supposed
watching
to
while
be.
driving.
Yeah, you know what? Hold on. I'm glad you said that because you know what I've not done? I've not gone in and checked to see who's watching because
see who's watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we track their ID back and we see if they're driving. Did you know
Yeah,
we could
exactly.
do that? We have all kinds of superpowers here.
And we will not call the police. We promise.
No, we won't.
Not today.
Other people might.
Yeah,
But we won't. We'll get around to that story later.
So it is. It's Mac Week.
It's Mac Week.
Oh my.
Yeah, it is.
It is so Mac Week.
There's so much going on in the world of Mac and everything they might be introducing. Some of the things they've already introduced that they're now officially introducing.
Well, I've even got a kind of a leak of the new phone layout.
I've heard it's leaked out there, and it'll probably be like a whole lot of the other leaks, which would be, I don't know, completely wrong.
Right.
But
I know. But you know what?
It's like
we all
accidentally left the phone on the bar in the place where all the reporters are. Wow.
Yeah, but
how
this
could
and
that
this
have
is not
happened?
this is just case itself, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
And that's what you want. You want to go, okay, is it going to be? Is it going to be good?
A lot of leaks are actually test marketing. They're seeing how it's received.
Well,
They're seeing what they think before they come out and make
Right.
the official announcement. And if
Exactly.
everybody's like, oh my God, it has this obvious problem, you're like, how did we not see that? Holy crap. And so you just completely scrub it from your announcement. And they're announcing so many things. You're not going to miss the fact that that single piece is not there today.
Exactly.
It's just like, oh, it must have been a fake rumor. Okay, no, it was actually floating a market idea. It was basically split testing.
Well, and
a
we're going
design.
to talk about that in your segment.
Split testing?
No, quizzes.
Ah, yes, quizzes.
Same thing. It's-
Kind of, sort of, except completely different.
I think no.
Yeah.
I think people put these tests and these these little quizzes out there. Like I take the fun ones. I don't take the serious ones because I don't really care. But like the fun ones are like how bad of a person are you, or do you have anger issues, or which character
Yeah.
how likely are you, Snap, to kill somebody? I was 168%, for God's sake. I'm like, good Lord.
Notice I've asked for a new solid wall table between
Oh,
us. Yeah.
yeah.
The glass was just too
It was
scary.
too flimsy. But yeah,
too low,
which famous movie character do you come
know.
up with?
I
like,
love
I
those,
get Brad Pitt every
Which-
time.
which-
What's up with that?
I know. Well, that's because you look so much alike.
Jeez.
No, I love that. Which super friend are you? Which
I'm always Superman.
Marvel character are you?
I'm always Superman for some reason. I don't understand.
I know even in the Marvel you come up Superman.
What the
It's really
hell?
weird.
How's that possible? Anyway.
Yeah.
So today, right? Today, the Apple. Oh God, it's a WWDC 2020.
Yep.
It's gonna. I think it's what time is it? Our time. It would be
Good question. I don't
5 o'clock
actually
our
know.
time, because it's 2 o'clock their time.
Yeah. So
5 o'clock
it's
our
2 in
time.
Cupertino. It's 5 here.
Right.
The cool thing is this is the first time they're going to go completely web-based, thanks to COVID. So you'll be able.
Well,
to watch
I mean,
the
there's not
whole
that many
thing.
people in the Apple Theater anyway.
Well, but
Right?
still, no. They actually put quite a few. Put a couple of hundred in there at least. And that is and there's a lot of energy, and it's super special to be invited and be there live.
Right.
And normally it is yes, it may be live broadcast, but it's a little bit different from what's going on today.
Is it live broadcast though?
Or is it Memorex?
Is it Memorex?
Yeah,
I think
there
it's
you go.
Memorex. I think they've already done it.
Right, and they've
To
already
make it
tested
right?
it. It's A/B split. Half the country was told it was last Monday, and they've already seen it. So
funny,
now
right?
the other half of the country is going to
Because
see
we
it this
do that
week
all
with edits.
we do that all the time. I can put a live button up in the corner to make you think it's live.
Oh yeah, I do that too.
It's not
When
not
I
that
edit
big a
video
deal.
footage, yeah.
Right.
It's like live flashing, yeah. This
Yeah,
is
live. But anyway, so
It was recorded live
it
before
is
a studio audience.
yeah. So it's going to be today, and it is 2 o'clock their time. I believe that makes it 5 o'clock our time.
Yep.
And they have got some big news coming. iOS 14, the whole health thing, defaults.
Well, the defaults. I think
Hey,
are gonna be
hold on a
huge.
second. Can we send somebody out front to tell whoever's playing the guitar to move on? I appreciate that. Send Scary Cage out there.
There you go.
But anyway, so I mean, it's going to be a pretty big deal. Here's what I'm really excited about is their ARM.
Okay.
Because they are, and let me see if I can get down to it, to ARM. There we go. Perhaps the most important piece of news that come the WWDC is reportedly planning to use this year's developer conference to switch to its own custom designed ARM-based chips.
Wow.
Well, okay. So we've known this is coming for a long time because, they've been making the A1 chip, the A2 chip, the A3 chip, the A4 chip, all the way. I think that they're the A10s now.
Okay.
And they've been testing them in their cell phones and their iPads. Mm-hmm. Those are not Intels.
Right.
So they're going back to the days of pure Apple.
I don't have a problem with that.
I never did. Matter of fact, I was really angry. I mean, getting angry. I know.
You?
Figure.
Wow.
It never happened, right?
Despite the medications. Okay.
Exactly. So when in the beginning, their chips were their chips, right?
Yeah.
And we all loved it.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, Apple's going to Intel. Why?
Yeah.
We were, before the Intel chips, Macs were the most stable.
Yes.
The most stable platform and computer you could get a hold of, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Why they would go away from that, other than the fact that it made it easier for them to incorporate. My personal opinion, and look, this is my personal opinion, right? The only reason they did that is so Adobe wouldn't have to make two versions of their softwares.
And getting the Adobe stuff on there was a huge deal. Remember
deal.
that? Because
Right.
you couldn't get the Adobe products for the longest
Right.
time.
So Cage is going to go out there and run them off. Thank you, Cage. I appreciate that, buddy. It literally for the first 2 years made the Macs unstable.
Wow.
Because I had them.
Yep.
I had we had the biggest, baddest Mac you could get. I mean, I had one Mac that was an Mac Pro
Yeah.
before Intel. That thing ran me almost $20,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a supercomputer for our studio. And then Intel showed up, and then I'm like, oh crap. And then we had to buy all new software.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't put any of the Adobe stuff on your
On the old
existing
stuff, yeah.
other than it's kind of funny when you went and bought Adobe, you had to buy for Mac or for PC,
Right.
right? And so when they changed over to the Intel Macs, then you were able to just put it on there because it was Intel based.
Got it.
So they stopped making two different versions.
Well, then why do other people still make two different versions of software? Well, one's for iOS, one's for
Well, iOS is, but we think,
DOS, but
yeah, but we still Apple still think differently than PCs.
oh yeah, very much so.
They're not Windows based. They're still iOS based for
yeah,
Mac,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So there is some stuff out there, but that stuff didn't matter. At that point in time,
Yeah.
Adobe mattered.
Yep.
So that's why. Again, it's my opinion.
Well, they're going back to it now.
I read the
okay,
delay.
and
So now are they going to? So now are they going to make? Is it going to be where if you're a Adobe person, is your Adobe going to work on the ARMs?
I'm going to tell you this, that I don't, being, fairly Mac driven, and I've got both. I've got a PC and a Mac on my desk.
Yeah.
Okay. And I got to tell you something. I will open, a document, or I'll write a document in Pages, or I'll write a document in Word. And if I send the Word document over to my Apple, the Apple just opens it and reads it and changes it and does whatever I want to do, sends it right back as a docx. It'll do everything. If I try to open I sent a Pages document to a client the other day without thinking about it.
And they
he's like,
couldn't
I can't open it.
Right.
I can't. It won't look at it. It won't even read it.
No.
So it's extremely one-way street. And so my guess is this thing is probably going to be so freaking smart that it'll go, no, we got this. Don't worry about it.
Or is it because it's a lot of the apps now have become cloud-based?
Cloud-based or not, they still need to interface with your operating system. And so, yeah, one of the issues with the whole Adobe, cloud-based suite is that it is still a heck of a memory hog.
Oh, yeah.
When you're pulling that stuff down, we've actually just had to upgrade, we actually went crazy. We got a terabyte solid state drive. Just to make everything run.
Yep.
And when you're having to do that for cloud-based software, think about that for a minute. It's like, no, it still has to download a massive amount of software to make it work.
Yeah, and if you go look at the article, they have got they're actually jumping on a ton of stuff. Like, let me see the Apple AirTags.
Okay.
I don't like those.
I am most impressed with the idea of being able to set your own defaults, because there's nothing I hate. I do Spotify. Okay, I don't actually do Apple Music. I've been on Spotify since they first introduced.
Right.
They had representatives down at a tech conference we had in Ybor City in Tampa, and they were all down there. And I'm like, I'll sign up. Go ahead. They gave me like a free, 3 months or something, and then $5 a month after that.
Right.
And now, of course, I'm paying $10 a month, but or more. I don't even know what it is. But the neat thing about it was that I love Spotify. So I listen to Spotify for all my music. I got all my playlists in there. I've been there for 10 plus years. And then, but whenever I get in the car, it automatically activates Apple Music because it's the default.
Right.
And it sets the default and it runs the player. And it's like the music it comes up with. I'm like, how the hell did that get into what?
Right.
When did I buy this album?
Right.
And they find one obscure song. And once it locks onto one, it only starts with that same song every time you get in the car. It's I've gone through it, just like deleted songs that I had in old files.
Nuts.
Oh my God! So being able to reset your defaults so that it'll default to Spotify, that'll be helpful.
Well, see, it's rumors that there's going to be a new Apple TV. It's a refreshed version.
Okay.
New iMac, which it's about time because that thing is sad. The ARM thing is, to me, it's just is the thing that because, and then the new Mac OS 10.16.
Yeah.
So I guess they won't. Well, they'll stop the updates for the Intel versions like they did when the Mac Pros.
No, eventually.
Yeah.
That'll be a long time. It'll be 10 years out.
I hope.
Do that.
tvOS 14.
I'm excited about the iPad operating system.
Really?
And the upgrade on that because they are doing more and more. I mean, I fell in love with this thing. Okay, this is the Apple Pencil. Mm-hmm. And the way it interfaces with my screen is just phenomenal. It's like no other. It is not a stylus. Not even close.
Can you? So do you have to? Does it have to draw on the screen, or do you draw on the table?
No, I draw right on the screen.
I'm waiting for them to
but
get
here's the cool
where
thing.
you can draw on a table or a pad, and it does it.
Well, I have those. Okay, but you have to have special paper. Okay, so I have notepads that'll do that. And before I got this, I had those. And what this thing does, though, is as soon as you connect it and you're using it,
right.
It recognizes and it only accepts input from this, unlike just about any other stylus or device. So your hand is dragging on the screen. It doesn't see your hand.
Right.
Okay, it just reads just the stylus when it's connected.
See,
and that is so handy because then it immediately converts everything into text. Well, not immediately. That's what it's now going to do.
Right.
So while you're sitting there writing, right behind you, according to what I'm reading, it's going to turn it right into text, ASCII text right behind you. So if you spelled something wrong, you just go back, cross it out, and write it again. This time get it right, and you just write live. That is going to be phenomenal for me.
Yeah, but I think they should do that without having to have paper.
This doesn't need paper.
No, I mean...
but you mean be able to write something?
Yeah.
That's when and I have an optical mouse that'll do that, and I'll give it to you.
But that's a mouse,
not
a pen.
What it is, but it's shaped like a pen.
Oh, really?
Yes. I have an optical mouse shaped like a pen.
Okay.
And so, yes, you can do that on any surface. So it's basically mouse-based technology.
Right.
But it's built into a pen shape so you can do that. And again, I tested that, but it wasn't fine enough. It wasn't what I wanted.
Wasn't right there.
This is amazing stuff.
So then, you get the tvOS 14, which is going to work with the Apple TV, the watchOS 7 for sleep tracking and all that kind of stuff. The iPad OS 14, that's what you were talking about.
That's what I was talking about.
Yep. Let's see. Let's get back up there. Oh, the fitness thing. Yeah. I don't, for Mac runners, rumors for all your health and stuff like that.
I use that for cycling. I have an app called Cycle Meter, and it's pretty neat. It tracks everything that I just did, including changes in elevation.
Really?
Yeah. So it tracks my heart rate. It tracks, the distance.
So if you put on a drone and have it go and then go up and come back down, it'll say, hey, you really were flying there, bud.
Yeah. Congratulations on your 80-foot increase.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
Are you now Superman?
That kind of speed. See, and now, but only in the DC universe.
Right. So the next thing we're going to do is talk about this one's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Apple closes Chinese App Store loophole, causing thousands of games to be removed.
Yep.
So starting in July, paid games will need prior approval from the Chinese authorities.
Which Google was already doing since 2016.
Right.
Apple was holding out and only requiring a pending approval that they had applied for it. They were trying to be as free as possible with it, but, the government knows better, and so they completely shut it off and forced Apple to turn it off.
So in other words, even if you don't have TikTok on your phone, the Chinese has been tracking your phones because they're downloading all these free games.
I'm not going to comment on that, but you know damn well it's true.
Oh yeah. It's amazing.
I mean, look, yeah, you've got location services on there. I mean, it's the nice thing is, at least on Apple, it's going to be somewhat secure.
Right.
Because when they find embedded code or malicious, that app is off of there in a heartbeat.
Yep.
While with, the Google Store and the Microsoft Store, it's like, yeah, I guess so. Isn't that supposed to be there? And then they just leave it. But on Apple, it's like, oh, no, that's not what we stand for. That's not what we're going to do.
I find it really disheartening that some people, you'll tell them, hey, look, TikTok has been, is getting all your credit card information, all your background information, your medical information, your spending habits off your phone, and people will write back, well, the people have already been tracking that anyway. Google's already got us. I said, yeah, but Google's not Chinese based.
Yeah.
And China and Google's not using it. They may have it, but they're not using it or not selling it. But China's getting it and selling it and using it. That's the difference. And what are they using it
for? Okay, and when we look at the ability to interfere in, let's just look at elections.
Right.
Okay. And the ability to interfere in something like that, and for them to know your psychographics, demographics, everything about you.
Right.
Okay. Where you shop, what you do. That is, think about it. They've got stuff. Let's imagine, you're one of 10 million people who frequents porn shops. Okay. And you all happen to be.
Those still exist?
I know.
How is that possible?
But there are actually 20 million of those.
Okay.
20 million people.
Oh, hey, we've got to correct ourselves.
What did we did?
Okay, starting at 1 p.m. our time. 10 a.m. Western.
So 10 a.m. Oh, goodness.
10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so that is a correction. We're making a correction because they just now.
Actually, that's not a correction. What we're doing is we're giving you the truth about when the first split test is going to be.
That's it.
So you can be part of that group now. You've been upgraded. There you go. You got early access.
So Rob covered our rear ends. He could have said something to me, so I would have known. But that's okay. Just let me ramble on like an old fart. It's all right.
He knew, but he didn't.
Yeah, I know. That's okay.
Thanks, Rob. You're the man.
So if you, but back to the Chinese. It is.
But let's imagine that's the case. Then suddenly you get a message on your phone saying, "Hey, if you vote on Tuesday, we're going to plaster, and we're going to know you're there. We're going to know you're in the voting booth."
That's right.
Okay, because we know where you are, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to text your wife because we know who she is. And we're going to let her know, and we're going to show her all the data. So you better not vote. That's what we're looking at with this kind of data and that kind of power.
And see, people don't get that. People don't understand that.
Nope.
I took it off. I had it. Started watching it. I'm like, well, that's really cool, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, by the time I'd actually thought about putting it on, it was already supposed to take it off. So,
so I find
that's the usual thing. I wait a while on just about everything because eventually, because 80% of it ends up going away anyway.
That's true.
So
that's very true.
I love being an early adopter in some things, but not in stuff.
I'll be glad to be an early adopter of the new iPhones. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, Apple.
Yeah,
iPhone. I'll test them all out for you, for you and you only. All right, so it says if you want to watch today, right?
Yep.
So you can go to apple.com. Yeah. Or you can go to the follow it on Verge on Twitter. Go to Twitter and follow Verge at Verge, and it'll get there too as well. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a ton of people restreaming this.
Yeah, there will be.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I thought about Tech Shamans going and watching it and just restreaming for people.
Can we get our little silhouettes along the bottom?
That would be
and
cool.
We
all make fun of it.
Oh my God,
that's awesome.
That's what we need to do from now on.
Mystery Science 2000.
MSA 3K.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
we have the green screen
MAT
to do
3K. There we go.
We have the green screen
Mystery
to do
Apple Theater 3000.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, next time that's what we're doing.
That's right. We're going. Well, actually, we'll even do that on E3 because E3 is not happening.
Sure.
So we'll watch it digitally and stream it on Tech Shamans and
we'll use the giant Chrome Studio and just have a blast with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hot diggity dang.
Yep. Rod.
So but if you want to watch that, it starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's BST? Is that British Standard Time? So I guess if you're over there Britain and you want to watch it, you can watch it over there too. That's cool though. I am going to be watching as much as I can. I have do I have a show at that one? Show at 2:00.
Yeah.
I watch it some. So
You watch
hey,
the first hour.
so we're going to talk something that you want to talk about. Quizzes.
You want to talk about?
I don't like quizzes. They make me look stupid.
Right. There is so much you can do.
Let me preface it with what you're going to say.
Preface this.
Every time someone says, "Hey, did you take that quiz?" I'm like, "No," because they're just doing nothing but tracking you, or they're looking out for information from you to hack your bank account.
When you see that stuff on Facebook, you are absolutely correct. Okay, there are so many of those things that are use the first letter of your last name, your middle initial, and then the last 4 digits of your social security number, and we'll tell you, here's your Wizarding World and Harry Potter name. You just gave them all the answers, of course, to your security questions. Who was your best friend in high school? And I was like, damn.
Yep.
And it's like, wow, I've seen these questions before. They
But
usually
what we're
on the
getting
banking app.
what we're getting ready to talk about is not this, right?
No,
Okay.
not like that at all. I mean, I don't really care about the scammy quizzes, but there's a powerful plugin you can use on your WordPress website. And with it, you can do amazing marketing. Rob, if you can go to that photo I sent you, okay? Because it does phenomenal work. You can build it in, and you can build in questions and answers.
Wow.
And what's really neat is not only does it, allow you to go yes, no, you can do multiple choice. You can give weighted scores. It doesn't have to be right and wrong. You can give weighted scores to each answer. Then when it's done, based on the score, you can customize the response that they see on screen. And then based on the score, you can customize the response that they get in an email after it's done. All of these things are completely customizable. And then, of course, you get all the data. You can have them fill in their name and email address at the beginning or at the end or not do it at all.
Right.
It has enormous flexibility and power within the system. One of the things, and I think the best way to understand how this stuff can be used is a practical application.
Right.
I'm going to use one we designed for a medical services company. They had a software package for doing this new government compliant services that was being provided to patients, and anybody that was doing accepting Medicare was supposed to be doing this stuff. And what we discovered, or what they discovered, was that a ton of doctors were doing it wrong.
Oh.
And they didn't know they were doing it wrong.
Right.
They, because all you know how easy it is to read government regulations. It was like the ADA website stuff.
Yeah.
That we were talking about.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And so it's all these ambiguous instructions and what are you supposed to do? And so what we did was, and they got salespeople out there going, yeah, but if you do this, yeah, but if you do this, are you doing this? This is wrong. They're at trade shows confronting these doctors, and we had now when you make a mistake like that and you don't follow all the pieces, they can come back to you up to 7 years later and demand the money back. Times 3.
Really?
Yeah, we had one doctor who had performed this service, and it's a $250 service, and he had done it wrong.
Whoa.
Every single time. He did it 1,000 times. He had $250,000 in erroneous billing in what Medicare would call fraudulent billing. And so he was subject to a $750,000 clawback.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So making these kinds of mistakes is pretty hefty. So what we did was we used this questionnaire.
Okay.
And we built an online audit form that doctors could just sit and take.
Right.
Promote it out on social media, let doctors find it, send it to email addresses that we have with doctors, that we know of, and we send it off to them. And what's really cool about it is when they get the survey, I mean, obviously we're not going to report them, but there are 4 answers in there.
Right.
And it may be, did you give the patient a final report? Was it digital? Was it printed? Was it both? Neither. Okay. 2 of those answers are correct.
Huh.
You have to give them a printed one. So the 2 that are correct are printed and both.
Got it.
So you give equal points on those. You give 0 points on the other one. By the end of the thing, anybody that didn't have a score of a perfect 100 was subject to a clawback. because there were some very basic things we could see. And so now what do? So now we soft pedal it. So if they got like an 80 or above, we go, wow, you may have some issues here that you need to look at. Maybe you want to schedule an appointment with one of our consultants to come out, go over your program and show you how you might be able to improve it, and dot your I's and cross your T's to make sure you're not getting a clawback. You get people that are scoring in 40s and 50s, and they're out there, okay, and they don't know they're doing it wrong. They think they're doing it right. They don't realize that you're supposed to give them a printed copy of the report before they leave.
Oh my.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, where's that? Oh, it's in the fine print on page 312. Okay, but it's clawback. Have a nice day. And so. So what you do is go, wow, you appear to have significant issues. It's probably urgent that we contact you immediately to discuss this. Would you like us to give you a call? Because, put your phone number here. And so you can do all kinds of things like that in these things. And when you think about that kind of communication, if you're selling storm windows, okay, and you want to ask people these questions and go through your sales process, because good selling is about asking.
Right.
It's about understanding
That's
your
correct.
prospect.
Yeah.
And so what a great way to do it. And then as soon as you get one in, go straight to your email. You get it right on your phone with all the answers, and you can see you got somebody on the line who needs your help badly. Okay, it is an awesome, awesome tool. And then, of course, once you have them, then you can take all of that, you can move it all over to the to your email program, because now you've got people that are obviously very interested in whatever it is you're doing,
right?
Whether it's storm windows or selling cantaloupes. Okay, these are people that want to know, did you know this about cantaloupes? Take this quiz about cantaloupes. Okay, and find out what you know about the greatest fruit in the history of ever. Whatever.
Right.
Okay, and then you can have, wow, I love cantaloupes. I'll take that. Now, guess what? You have, your cantaloupe.com website now has, a list of people who wanted to learn more about cantaloupes. Okay, you can do just about anything with this stuff. And the package is so flexible. It's phenomenal. It never ceases to amaze me how many. I mean, you can put images in. How does this picture make you feel? Okay, and you can give it a scale of 1 to 10. Things like you can have a progress bar at the bottom. You can run it like an actual test where it gives you the correct answer after each question. It says, no, this was actually the correct answer. Or you can leave all that off so they get to the end, like we did on the audit. We didn't let them know what the right answer was. Okay, because then they just go through and fix all their stuff themselves.
Right.
That doesn't work. We don't want to do that. And so this thing actually lets you do all that stuff. Now, and honestly, it's really sad because it is so expensive. It is probably, all right, it's free. The plugin is actually free with all this power for marketing.
So why?
And
Okay,
it's free.
I know there's paying sides of it, but
Yes.
why?
Because they want you to plug in, okay, but then when you get to the point where you want to do other stuff with it, where you want to directly integrate it into your email campaigns, or you want to accept payments through it or something like that, then you buy their plugins. For me, I'm looking for the donate button on this thing anyway, because it is absolutely priceless. It is so powerful. It's one of the most powerful marketing tools out there, because you actually take your expertise and you engage with your customer base. Yeah.
That is really good.
It is awesome. It is really awesome.
And of course, they want to add this to their website. They can do it, or they can call us here.
They can call, and we can set the whole thing up.
Anthony at WeBeamTV.com or John at WeBeamTV, or just email us at techshamans at WeBeamTV.com, and we will get Anthony in touch with you. You don't want me doing it. I'm really good at breaking websites.
And I'm really good at fixing them at 2 a.m.
He always fixes them. So, all right. So here's the bad apples.
Ugh.
And I don't know if it's bad, but okay. So Apple's App Store fees are highway robbery, says House Antitrust Committee Chair. 30% is unconscionable, says Congressman David.
Congressman David.
I don't know.
Sisseline.
This is one of those things where I get into the world of, if you want it and you're willing to pay for it.
Who are they to say I'm paying too much?
Exactly.
Okay.
There's been some apps that I've downloaded for free and going, damn, this should have cost me at least $10.
But look at that plugin we just did, okay?
Right.
But there are apps that are incredibly useful that are free. But on the other hand, there are other things that, when you have a wide marketplace in other areas, you can't charge more on Apple for the same thing. And so, because people go to the other platform to buy it.
Right.
And I was completely okay with this until I got to the part where the Hey app, the Hey email app, they were redirecting people from the app to pay for a license on the on their website, so they wouldn't have to pay the 30% to Apple. And my first thought was, and Apple then kicked their app off, the App Store. Because no, you're not going to redirect around us. Mm-hmm. I went through so many layers, because the first one was, okay, that's kind of nasty on Apple's part to say, oh, because that's how you choose to do business, we aren't going to let you do business with our customers.
Well, not everything can be free, though.
Oh, I totally agree with you. And it's not free, okay? But Apple was carrying it for free. But you look at all these other, pay to play and things that, like Barnes & Noble, to this day, you still can't buy a book on the Barnes & Noble app.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to go into the store?
No, you have to go to bn.com.
Ah.
Okay. And why is that? Because Apple would not allow in-app purchases. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
They never allowed in-app purchases, but now that they've allowed them, they won't allow anybody to do any but an in-app purchase.
Yeah.
And, I look at it and I'm like, if it's cost of doing business. And Apple is so far ahead. We're actually having a conversation with a programmer yesterday. He's completely, PC based. And he's like, I hate about Apple is, they have the reputation for being the trendsetter, period. They are the ones, even when they're there at the game late, they still get to take credit for it because they do something better. Mm-hmm. But the fact is, they waited until it was stable and able to be used properly. And now it's okay to use. But they're still considered trendsetters. They're considered ahead of the game. And so if we have governments now coming and going, no, you can't charge more than the other people, guess what? You're not going to get more than what the other people give you.
Right.
And that is not what a free market is all about. I want to pay more for my Apple stuff. I want to, because it is worth it to have somebody out there checking every app in the App Store for a virus, checking every app for hacking software, checking every piece of software before it goes anywhere near it, and doing all of the design elements, all of the advanced stuff. I mean, the 11 Pro cameras. I mean, all those things. I want all that, and I'm willing to pay for the values that match mine.
Exactly.
And if you don't want to, don't buy an Apple product.
It's all end user. If the end user doesn't want to pay for it, don't pay for it.
Right.
And if enough people don't pay for it, Apple will go, that's trending.
Exactly.
Trending down. Why?
Exactly. Let the market force them. But at this point, the market wants their quality.
Right.
And for the government to come in and say, yeah, but you can't charge for it.
Right. No, that's crap.
That's complete garbage.
And that's the reason I'll download stuff on my iPhone, because Apple's already done all that security back.
Exactly.
And I don't have to worry about it.
Nope.
Unlike Androids, which I've talked to people, they've downloaded, good Lord, we talked about it last week. They downloaded an image just as a background and it shut their phone down.
Yep. Yeah. And we don't have anything like that.
Nope.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Even if I get an infected email, Apple's like, honk, right over the top of it.
Yep.
Nothing happens. I just delete it. That's why I open virtually all my email on my phone.
Yep.
And not on, well, certainly not on a PC.
No.
But even on my iMac, I don't even bother.
If I get something that comes through and I see it in my email and it looks suspicious, I'll open it up on my iPhone.
Exactly.
Because my iPhone won't crash. And it won't even get infected.
Nope.
So
nothing happens. It's a completely isolated system.
So the bottom
and we can
line
trust
is,
that, and that's what we pay for.
It's big government trying to put their.
Well, they're trying to score brownie points here by. I mean, look, I'm in love with the idea of going after someplace, because there is no place really. There's very few places you can go besides Amazon, to buy a lot of stuff.
And that's why
online.
that's
why they're looking at
two
some of this
stories
stuff.
before we talked about is they shut down that China loophole.
Yeah.
Because there was crap going on, and they're like, hey, wait a minute now.
And
a lot of games that we have, I think now I understand why I had a couple of games that wouldn't work anymore. That's why.
Yeah.
So they're like,
my favorite's still working, so I'm good.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So the next one is right here. We're going to talk to. Did I jump over that?
This one.
Oh. So I don't know
This
how
one is
we're
gonna
gonna. I don't want to gloss over this one, but it needs to be talked about. So crisis mode, right? Employees at crisis text line tried telling a board about a pattern of racial I can't even say the word.
Insensitivity.
At the company, but when they didn't work, they went to Twitter. So in other words, they shamed them on Twitter to the point where they got rid of this person, which A is wrong. B, the board should have fired that person immediately.
Long ago.
That, I mean, and the more I read about this person, I'm like, God, I know that I sit there and make fun of myself and call myself an asshole and all that kind of stuff, but this person right here makes me look like a freaking saint because they weren't handling the situations the right way
At all.
So, anyway, it's just.
But I look at it and I'm like, okay, 8 out of 9 of their executives are white, and they have a strong history of insensitivity across the whole corporate culture. They shut down efforts and educational initiatives that were aimed towards increasing, sensitivity. Let's back up a little bit. The crisis text, is a service that you can just, send off to and talk to a counselor.
Yep.
Okay, so that you can hopefully, prevent a suicide, but some of the things they were doing and rewarding people for within the culture is what's questionable.
Yep.
If they counted their successes as lives saved. How did they mark lives saved? As if a counselor gets the message, is talking with somebody and they're feeling like the person, is suicidal, they've got like a red button where they can call the police and send them to that person's house
for a safety check
and
health and welfare check,
which is great. But in today's environment, a lot of people of color are terrified of having the police show up at their house, and so you want to talk about fumbling in this situation and saying, no, that's not a problem, we're not worried about them. Whoa.
Yeah, that's
okay.
wrong.
That is a real problem. But that was how they would reward people. That was how they marked their success. And so when you looked at the things they were doing and the problems they were teaching their people to counsel, it was all basically, upper middle class white culture. And, the people they're supposed to be helping are coming in from across the spectrum. But the help they're giving, the advice they're giving, it doesn't count for everyone. And so those who tried to improve that were actually shut down and told that's not your job.
Right, exactly.
Go back to work.
Yep. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, the culture itself there. And I think the fact that she wasn't fired sooner, and especially with the digital blackface thing.
Shows it goes deeper than just her.
It has to. Why would they tolerate this?
Right.
Okay, look at, she did a promotional thing for a new spinoff of their company, and it was animated. There are 2 characters. She voiced one of the characters named Nancy. Her name is Nancy, and the character is black on screen.
Let me show.
She's
let me bring
not
it down so Rod
black.
can show that.
So it is digital blackface at that point.
Right.
Because this is just dead wrong. You shouldn't be doing stuff like this.
Right.
And, claiming you're black when you're not black, voicing the character as black. I mean, it's the height of insensitivity at this point, and nobody on the board saw anything wrong with it. That's the problem.
So
it's not Nancy.
Not
so
good.
Kicking Nancy out is like, look, she was like our sacrificial lamb.
Yeah,
Isn't everything great now?
We got rid of one of them. No,
let's go back to our
probably need
graven
to-
images and gilded calves.
Yeah.
We sacrificed a virgin. Go.
Not good.
So no, not good.
Not cool,
the
lady.
whole thing, and it's a great idea. It's a wonderful concept.
And I'm not. First of all, I want everybody to know I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. Of this.
No.
But this right here, this will. I don't care.
Yeah.
So see, I worked for a company once, and the upper ups were white.
Yep.
No, I'm sorry. There was 2 people of color, and I'm not going to say what color they were, but they were 2 people of color,
Yep.
and they discriminate. Here's something even weirder. They discriminated if you weren't wealthy, higher rank. If you were middle class or lower,
Yeah.
I don't care what color you were trash.
Right.
And you were treated as such. But if you come from money, which we have people in that company that come from money, and they were still working the same jobs that we were,
They'd be fast-tracked.
Yeah, baby. I mean,
Yeah,
it was, and even though they were fast-tracking people that didn't know half of what we knew, oh yeah, it was bad.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad.
It's not that common.
And I'm not saying that I'm not sitting there going, I know everybody's going through.
You know what's funny? I think firing her was the right thing to do. I think the reason they fired her was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay, the way they went about it, it's like, oh, quick knee-jerk reaction. No investigation, no documentation, no nothing. It's like, oh, wow, there was a big Twitter campaign showing some of the stuff she did. I know what we'll do. We'll fire her.
Right. And I want everybody to know that we're getting a lot of our information. We scrub all the big sites like CNET, USA Today, the tech, and then we use The Verge because they seem to be a little more even keeled.
Yeah.
Some days they're not. Some days they are.
Well, but that's part about being even killed.
So
okay, you'll adjust in both directions.
Exactly. So so the next thing we're going to talk about, because we're running out of time. I just looked at the clock and went, holy crap. So Disney Plus is no longer offering free trials, and it's just before the release of Hamilton.
Well, yeah.
I
mean, of course, I have Disney Plus, so I don't care.
Yeah,
but
you know, that's kind of funny. I didn't run the free trial. I just went and bought it.
Dittos.
I didn't wait for the 30 days. I knew I was.
It was 7 days.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a 7 days, so you didn't even notice if it was or not. It was irrelevant. But you knew you wanted to see the stuff that's on there. You knew all those Disney movies that you hadn't seen since you were a kid. Snowball Express. Oh yeah, it's on there.
I've watched the Mandalorian series now probably 12 times all the way through.
I watched all the good episodes once.
I don't, for some reason, I really like it. But anyway, so right before Hamilton's set to release, they're like, we're not going to do that anymore.
Well, because how many people would sign on just to watch Hamilton and then dump it? Yep. Okay, and the cost of acquisition is too high. So they aren't going to mess with that. You know what? You want it, buy it. You're going to pay, look, I paid $890 a ticket to see Hamilton. Okay?
I'm not going to go watch it.
Times 2. Plus staying in New York, an extra 3 days because of a hurricane that shut down Florida, so we couldn't get back. We got, and we're in Manhattan. I mean, so it wasn't cheap. I spent thousands of dollars to see Hamilton. You can spend $8, folks. It's worth it.
Well, it's $6.99 for you. Got if you're gonna watch it. If you're gonna subscribe just to be able to watch Hamilton, it's $6.99. You got to pay for 1 month.
Yeah.
Or you can do the $12.99, and that's when you get Hulu and ESPN.
But so $7, whatever, $8. All right.
So
my point was,
can you get the Hulu app inside Disney Plus? I don't know. I know you can get ESPN.
I'll have to try it.
No,
I don't care about ESPN, but
I like National Geographic. That's my favorite.
Yeah. No, I might be interested in the Hulu thing because I've been paying for them separately for a long time.
Yeah, for another,
and I didn't realize I could get it for
another $6.
$6, but
same as buying it outright.
Yeah, about the same as buying it outright.
Yeah,
yeah, but then I'll have ESPN.
June 19th is when they started No More Free.
Okay. When is
Hamilton
premiering?
I don't mean to be. July 3rd.
July 3rd. Oh, perfect.
I really
How
don't.
perfect
I
is
don't
that?
care.
Oh, it's amazing.
Nope.
It is absolutely
what they did to Pence was pretty much. I'm done.
I understand, but
and that would have been any president, not just because it was Pence.
No, I agree.
That was if any president, and they did that. I'm out. Yep. That's just like baseball.
I understand.
I don't watch baseball because they struck in the World Series when they were in San Francisco. When they went on strike before the World Series, or for the World Series, I'm like, I'm done with baseball forever.
Yep.
And I was one of those kind of guys that could tell you back to the root of baseball, who was who hit what, when I knew it all. I'm like, that dude. Now, baseball to me is dead. I'll go watch AAA ball or AA ball because those guys are really trying to hustle to get in there. And I know for a fact those guys make zero money.
Yeah.
Zero money. And they're hustling. But once they hit the majors, I'm out. Not going to do it.
Well,
but anyway.
We make our own choices.
Yeah. I mean, so I won't watch it, but I'm pretty sure that Mike in our house will because He loves Hamilton.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go back. Now, we actually got a video, which we're not going to be able to see because we don't have the time. So the Guinness World Book of Records reverses decision to strip Billy Mitchell's Pac-Man and Donkey Kong records. Now, this guy, he had these records.
Yeah.
And there's some big controversy and whole...
Over what?
There was the way it scored. It was back in 99.
People in the community discovered that Mitchell set them on video game cabinets that were running arcade emulation software rather than running the actual game itself.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, they had a refer or one of the game refs and blah blah blah. And then his name's in there somewhere. Anyway, they did a big thing where they came out and said, "Yeah, we're going to reverse it because it was good." And
yeah, the software is close.
There's more to it, and I really wish we had more time, but we only got 6 minutes and 30 seconds left on the show. So, but anybody that wants to go with we'll put the link in there, and the video's right here.
Yeah.
By Billy. I remember when it happened, but I don't know. I don't see anything different when playing on an emulator or actually playing on the actual console itself, because it's still the same code.
I guess.
Code is code.
Maybe
it's not going to run
but
different.
It may be processing speed.
Faster?
Okay. Yeah, maybe faster.
So you shouldn't be able to beat it. So if the game is thinking faster.
Well, the game is thinking faster, but your responses are being read faster. Okay, and that may make a difference. Well, I don't know. It's just a thought.
To me, going back to the whole console thing, that means so if you go backwards and you're playing a game.
Well, but the console doesn't think about your response. Okay, the console is going to do what it's going to do according to its code. It's that simple.
Exactly.
But if your response is faster and it's able to read it faster, then you have an unfair advantage over somebody playing with a substandard console.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you play back on the old console, so his reaction would be as slow as they are on the emulator, right?
Right, but his reaction would be the same, but the computer could read it faster. Okay, and probably give him credit for stuff that if he was right on the borderline, it defined a finer window, that would let him in. Just a thought.
I can't believe I did that.
What did you do?
Oh, I went the wrong stinking way.
Lost. So hit it back.
Yeah.
See if it works.
There we go. Trump administration is seeking.
Yep.
Oh,
and an ad pop.
Here we go.
There we go.
The Trump administration is seeking rollbacks on tech company protections.
Yep.
So they're going to try to.
Section 230.
They're trying to get rid of the veil.
Yep. And the Section 230 protections.
It's fighting me.
Okay. Is one of the most important pieces right now that they need to really be looking at, because if they're going to decide what is a valid result, what they're going to show people, rather than letting people just find it themselves, then they're acting as editors. And when you are editorializing, you are no longer protected by 230. You are no longer, you are an editor, not a content warehouse.
Right.
And that's the difference.
And that's what Facebook, Twitter, even Google can
Google
be thrown,
very much
be thrown into that. So if you're pushing people instead of giving them the real articles, and you're pushing the articles only that you want people to see, you're swaying.
I have gone searching for articles that I saw using the keywords that I know were appropriate. I can't find them.
Right.
I cannot find them. There are things out there that are just invisible, like 3 days after they happen. And they're buried with counter stories.
Yep.
Okay, that are using the same keywords. But, I've gone back 8, 10, 12 pages and still can't find the original story.
Right.
Okay, that described the situation. There was during the testimony last year, one of the professor, complete, left-wing Democrat Hillary supporter,
right?
Okay, came out and said that Google's changes in their algorithm, their intentional changes, resulted in approximately 2.3 million extra votes for Hillary.
Right.
And you see this guy, he's like, look, this is my party, but I'm telling you, this is what we did.
Right.
Okay, and this is how it worked. And they can do that. The way you can shift the image of something.
It's amazing.
By making people think it's not real, it's not there. Gee, did I really read that article?
Right.
Because I can't find it anywhere now. I mean, I hate stuff like that.
So
but,
speaking of images, check this out. So this is a new leak points to radical redesign for the iPhone 12.
they're spray painting them silver?
That's it, man.
That's kind of weird.
Yep. 4 cameras on the top. That's the back. I just don't know how real this is.
I don't think. Well, I mean, obviously those are just, metal prototypes. They're not actually going to be brushed steel.
These are the frame.
Yeah, they're not going to look like DeLoreans.
That would be cool.
Could be kind of cool, actually.
I could dig that.
I could dig a brushed steel phone. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. But I'd say, wow, 4 cameras. That's insane. I don't know why you need, and that's the front of the phone. That's the front.
Oh yeah, that is.
So why do you need 4 cameras on the front? I mean, I have 1 camera on
There's
the front
the back.
right now. Yeah, and that's what I'm used to. Now that's going back to the square edge design again.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I just got used to the rounded. I really kind of like it. It just seems so slick. And I hate even putting a case on mine. I tried to find the smallest case I could because I love the design.
Yep.
And I'm half tempted to take the actual outer case off now that I've got the glass protector on the front. I'm tempted to take the case off. I plugged mine in the other day. It was pouring rain outside, and I plugged mine in, and the screen popped up with a message that said, "Don't plug your phone in right now. There's water in the outlet."
That's awesome. All right, so real quick,
Yeah.
30 seconds. So remember last week how we said Zoom is not going to give for free? Well, they've changed their mind. So after all, Zoom says free users will get end-to-end encryption after all.
Oh, you know
They
what?
got bullied.
The terrorists are so happy to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. And in the last 20 seconds, read this. Virgin Atlantic inks deal to NASA for private trips to ISS.
Okay, I guess all the official trips are going through SpaceX. And
there you go.
And touristy stuff.
And with that
is
being
going
said,
through-
hey, we
Bye,
are
everybody.
Tech Shamans. Tech Shamans at WeBeamTV.com. Let us know what you thought about the show. Share us, like us, and we will see everybody next week. Bye.
We got the plans 'cause we are the Tech Shamans. We understand 'cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.